Tales of a mysterious wasting illness had brought the Dragonborn to the darkness of the Reach. There he found a shrine. An abandoned shrine that was not abandoned.
Ah, a wanderer, yes? No, pilgrim, perhaps. You have come to commune with Peryite, taskmaster and blighted lord, yes?
Tell me about Peryite.
He is the pus in the wound. Oh, proper ones curl their noses, but it's pus that drinks foul humors and restores the blood. I worship Peryite, yes, because sometimes the world can only be cleansed by disease.
May I commune with Peryite?
Not everyone has the stomach required to entreat my lord. But Kesh likes you, friend. There is a way Peryite may speak to us who will take him in. If you wish to commune with him, we'll need the incense.
Tell me about this incense.
Yes, the incense. Fetch for me a deathbell flower, 1 silver ingot, a flawless ruby, and some vampire dust. Then I will show you how.
It just so happens I have all of these things. It is almost as if I knew ahead of time.
Ah, have you? Let Kesh have them. Yes, this will create a fine fume. That should do. Now, inhale deeply.
Pix and Pooks prepared his best sniffing nose and sniffed.
Yes?
Breathe deep, mortal. I would have you hear me well. So let these vapors fill your lungs.
What is this? Have I been poisoned?
In a sense, but no more poison than a fool after too much wine.
What do you want with me?
I have watched you for some time, you know. The decisions you've made intrigue me. And I wonder if you are the proper agent for a task of mine.
What task?
I sent a blessing to Mundus. A wasting plague that infected a scattering of Breton villages. One of my monks, the elf Orchendor, was sent to gather these afflicted. He shepherded them into Bathardums for me, but has since lost his way. I will not stand for betrayal. I want you to go to Bathardums and kill Orchendor in my name.
Why does Orchendor deserve to die?
An impertinent question. The elf must die. Either carry out my will or do not. You are not the only mortal agent I could choose.
What would I gain from this?
The pettiness of mortals. I had almost forgotten. I can grant you a powerful token for this task. An escutcheon of Dwemer-make, capable of shielding you from both the spell and sword. Return when the elf lies dead, and it will be yours.
I have heard your request. Release me.
So you have, mortal. Go now. Kill Orchendor.
The Dragonborn doubted that this Orchendor would be any match for him. He had already killed so many in his line of life. One more would be nothing. His faithful steed Shadowmere appeared to have gone walkabouts, and so he decided he would put his... Oh my. Suddenly a saber cat appeared, but he bashed its head in. And then he decided to put his youthful legs to the test and run his way to the old Dwemer ruin. He hopped down a mountain, spry as a cat, and then he leapt playfully because he's crazy, and he continued on his way, picking a berry as he went, because life without the odd berry is no life at all. That's what Pix and Pooks' father used to say. He used to say, life without a berry is no life at all. And Pix and Pooks was not one to doubt the wisdom of his father, because his father was Godfrey the Wise, well known for being someone worth listening to. He was getting close to his goal. Could this ruin be the one in which Orchendor hid? It was looking likely, for there was nothing but rock here. So, throwing caution and urine to the wind, he found to his dismay a locked gate, but the gate was unlocked from the outside because the Dwemer were pretty strange in their way of designing things. He found the ruin he needed and made it into the Bethamadabadaba upper district. He did, you know, that's what the book says. And so he entered sneaky mode, but found pots full of the same ichor that he had communed with only moments ago. This elf was clearly up to some devious machinations. The afflicted, strange, red-skinned Bretons. They were no doubt suffering.
Never should have come here.
Fortunately, they were not much of a challenge, which meant that Pix and Pooks had little to worry about. What he did have to worry about, however, was getting lost in this god-forsaken ruin. He hoped he was going the right way. Time would tell whether or not he was. This seemed more like it, though. In Pix and Pooks' experience, a foreboding tunnel leading down is usually the right direction. The afflicted, it seems, were wielders of magic, but appeared to be made out of glass. They were so brittle. He readied his warhammer.
You don't have a chance.
The Afflicted was good at outflanking Pix and Pooks. But outflanking is not something you can keep up forever. With that batch of Afflicted dead, he moved onwards. The lurid green liquid seemed to fall out of this woman's mouth. Indeed, the Bretons were literally puking at him. That was rather gross, and Pix and Pooks would not stand for it. He hoped he'd be able to wash the stink out of his armor before long. He knew where he must go. What he did not know is how he would go there. But he saw a lever and guessed that the lever would be his salvation. Indeed it was, and so he rushed forwards. And found himself in a very creepy tunnel. Green, the traditional colour of fear. Any filmmaker would tell you so anyway. But Pix and Pooks was not afraid. He never was these days. That Afflicted took some battering, but her sister fell with little trouble. More Afflicted lie on the Golden Road, puking at him like nobody's business. But where they had vomit, Pix and Pooks had a big-ass warhammer, and one oftentimes trumped the other. To the Bathabad workshop he went. No doubt he would face more Afflicted here, and so he kept his warhammer at the ready.
Now you're mine.
The Afflicted ran at him in numbers, but as always, a good old headbutt would be their end. And wouldn't you know it, there were even dwarven machinations in this dwarven ruin. But they fell apart just like anything else. Nothing would stop him. The Afflicted was enthusiastic, but enthusiasm cannot save you from a headbutt. So he kept on going, and he found a lovely pool. But then after that he found the upper district. He was getting closer. He knew it. But between him and his mark, so many more Afflicted. All with their mouths oozing with goo. Chang. There couldn't have been that many more left now, Pix and Pooks thought to himself.